Hey, what is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video. And so, I don't know, guys. They got him. They got him. So, when these Aaron Rodgers reports come out, I tend to not take them seriously because for the past 2 years, this whole offseason has been a goddamn joke of people making shit up, putting out false bullshit stories. And it has led to the media just being absolutely ridiculous on this Aaron Rodgers saga. But, well, buckle up, guys, because it's just going to become one hell of an offseason now. So I thought this was going to just be a quiet until we got to March type offseason for us. Trying to find out what Aaron was going to do based on relatively most of the reports that have been coming out have been pretty positive. Yeah, there's been all these speculations from these other teams. Oh, is he going to go to the Jets? Oh, is he going to go back and join Devontae Adams as a Las Vegas Raiders? Yada, yada, yada. All this bullshit that they did last year with the Denver Broncos when the head coach was hired there, and so it's like, oh, well, his offensive coordinator went there, so he must go there. And now that's what they're doing this year with the Jets. It's like, oh, he is now going to the Jets. He must be going there. First of all, he's not going to be a New York Jet. You want to know why he's not going to be a New York Jet? Because he doesn't want the fake news media that he already has against him week after week, day after day. So he's not going to want to be with that damn media. First and foremost, he's not going to be a Jet. You're tripping if you think he's going to be a Jet. When I heard about this little article about Aaron Rodgers, I was like, "Oh Lord, what are we cooking up next time now? What did Aaron say? Did he say anything? No, it was some reporter who I guess has been like a writer for the Green Bay Packers since 1979. And after reading his report and hearing what he had said, some of the stuff he had said on the podcast, I'm really questioning how this guy has written reports for the Green Bay Packers, because he's starting to sound like Dave Meltzer, the biggest con artist in professional wrestling when it comes to journalism. But that's for another day when in the arc of professional wrestling. But nonetheless, this Bob McGlennon, who again has been a writer reporter for the team since the late 70s, has reported that the Green Bay Packers, keep in mind we haven't heard any of this at all, and most of the stuff has been relatively positive from reports that we heard prior to today, is that, quote, Bob's quotes were that the Green Bay Packers are, quote, disgusted with Aaron Rodgers and look to move on from him. And if he wants to stay with the team, then he will be a backup to Jordan Love. Yes, guys, this was an actual thing. The 59-year million player that you signed to a contract last year, by the way, to have this money, is going to be sitting on the bench next year if he decides to come back and decides not to take a trade from another team. He is going to be benched for someone who's making less and less money. Yep, that's a direct quote. Dude, you lost your credibility when you said that, buddy. But he even said worse, and that's not what this the articles are covering. So this guy in his podcast, okay, completely clowned himself and actually said something that was incredibly stupid. He said that Aaron Rodgers was not a first ballot Hall of Famer. I'm not exaggerating on this. He said that Aaron Rodgers was not a first ballot Hall of Famer. The man who's won 4 straight league MVPs. Brett Favre won 3 league MVPs and is a first ballot Hall of Famer. He compared Kurt Warner and Len Dawson, great quarterback, waited 12 years after eligibility, and Kurt Warner waited 8 years after eligibility to get in. Now, this would be an interesting argument, only it's a stupid argument, because the reason why Kurt Warner was not a first ballot Hall of Famer was because of his middle career. So, since he wanted to use this as an argument, do we got it up? Okay. No, that's not it. Since he wanted to use this as an argument, hold on. Is it on? No, that's not it. All right. Do we got it up? Since he wanted to use this as an argument, let's just use this for argument's sake. Okay, so Len Dawson, Hall of Famer, obviously. So why did Len Dawson wait 12 years after he was eligible for the Hall of Fame? Well, for one, he did only win one Super Bowl, just like Aaron Rodgers. But here's the thing: Len Dawson never won a league MVP. He was in the running a couple times, but he didn't win it. He was a team All-Pro. This is what the frick? I'm rushing right now. So here we go. His first 5 years, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right here. Okay, he really didn't do anything. Okay, overall, he didn't really do that well with the Steelers. He didn't do that very well with Cleveland. He went to the Dallas Texans in the AFL and won the championship. That was a great year for him. He finished 6th in the MVP race. We should put that out there. He did finish 6th place for MVP in 71, but Adam Page won that. But nonetheless, never won a league MVP. And again, the first 5 years of his playing career, he really didn't do that much for the Steelers and the Browns. It wasn't until he joined the AFL's Dallas Texans where he won the AFL championship, and then of course, the Dallas Texans changed into the Kansas City Chiefs the next year, and he went to Super Bowl appearance, lost to my Packers, and then of course won in '69 against the Vikings. But you know, him waiting 12 years because of the beginning of his career is actually understandable to why it hurt him getting in. Plus, there was probably a bias, I would imagine, being that he was more known as an AFL quarterback than an NFL quarterback, and there was kind of that whole stereotype going on still in the 70s. Even when the merger happened in the early to mid 70s, there was still that bias that the AFL was not as good as the NFL in competition. So there was that bias going on too. So Lynn Dawson waiting 12 years of eligibility actually made sense based on the time and the way things were judged back then. Now let's go to Kurt Warner. Now Kurt Warner did win 2 league MVPs, which is pretty impressive. Now, of course, his rookie year, he didn't really do anything. He had an uphill battle. He was bagging groceries after, being cut from the Packers in '94. He went to a couple arena football leagues and Europe, NFL Europa. But that was about it. His rookie year as a Rams, he was a backup. And then in '99, he took over for Trent Green in the preseason, never looked back. Took the team to the Rams to the Super Bowl, won Super Bowl MVP, won league MVP, and a Super Bowl victory. 2000 again, playoff team. 2001, league MVP, Super Bowl appearance. They lost to Tom Brady, and then in 2002 he had a really bad season, and I think he was injured for most of that as well. And then 2003 he was as well. And that pretty much ended his Rams career. Then he had a forgettable Giants season. And then he revived his career as an Arizona Cardinal, got the Cardinals to their first ever Super Bowl ever, their first ever championship game appearance since the 1940s. Not even kidding about that. So Kurt Warner basically clinched himself as a Hall of Famer with his career in Arizona, reviving his career. However, the reason why it took him 8 years after the 5-year of eligibility was simple. Because he was injured during the middle of his career with the Rams, at the end of his career with the Rams, and the one forgettable year with the Giants. That's why he wasn't a first ballot quarterback that's like, yep, Hall of Famer right away. That's how the judges and the voters always do it. This is not new. However, Aaron Rodgers never had this. All right, the first 3 years he was a backup for Brett Favre, obviously. But then in '08 when he took over, straight through, man. Straight through. 4 MVPs, team All-Pro, Super Bowl victory, Super Bowl MVP. That's a first ballot Hall of Famer right there. This is a ridiculous, like I said, this guy made me feel like this dude was Dave Meltzer's clone. Okay, after hearing his rant, on Aaron Rodgers, that we're going to literally they're done with Rodgers on the podcast. He's not coming back. I mean, they're disgusted with him, and they are done with him, and they are moving on. There ain't no way they are paying a man $59 million to sit the bench, because he did say this. It doesn't say this in this article here, but he did say it in the podcast. That they are literally going to bet, like, if he comes back and he doesn't, because he holds all the cards on where he goes, because he can just say, I'm not playing if you're going to trade me. He holds all the cards. And basically, he is saying that, I'm not going anywhere. Or they're saying that, no, he's going somewhere. And Aaron Rodgers, man, he is not going to go for that, man. $59 million. They can't cut him because there'll be $99 over the cap in a cap hit. They cannot cut him because it'll be a $99 million cap hit. And they can't afford that kind of money being owned by the city. This is insane. This is like I said, I think this guy is a terrible journalist. I can't believe he's covered this team for this long. In my opinion, he has lost all credibility when he says this, because everything that I've heard about the Packers and Aaron Rodgers is it's been cordial. It has not been this. Maybe they were trying to keep it low-key, but this is a disaster. This is a disaster for this to come out, if it's true, which I don't think it is. I have heard reports that this guy, while he is a reporter, he has kind of had missourced some things in the past decade. So, again, very, very flimsy reporting here. And again, he kind of reminds me of Dave Melcher with the way he reported this. Disgusted. Disgusted is the word they used. Disgusted. So, let's get this off. Where is it? Yeah. So, oh boy, they just opened up the off season instrumentally with this whole decision to say this to the masses and the media, because this is going to get all over the shoulder. There is no way you are paying a $59 million contract to somebody who's going to sit the bench. There's no way. It's not financially feasible. You know there's going to be more of an outcry by the shareholders of Green Bay because they're owned by the city. Probably worse than the one with Brett Favre. You know, when Brett Favre, when Ted Thompson and the GM and Mark Murphy had made the decision to move on from Brett and go with Aaron. Oh, my God. People don't probably know about it. I remember it. I lived through it because I was a huge Brett Favre fan. And, oh, my God, it was wild. And that was in 2008. We're talking the social media era, full-on social media era now. You know there's going to be a lot of shit going down. I think this is more bullshit. And again, I blame the media for all this because they have propagandized the whole Aaron Rodgers story for over 2 years now. Like, it has been expanding and expanding. It's like become the Aaron Rodgers offseason now, where everybody has to come up with something about Aaron Rodgers. And you know damn well that they are going to be questioned about this. Mark Murphy and Brian Gutekunst or whatever. I don't even think we should. I think we should fire the GM because the GM has been terrible. But they're going to all be questioned about this offseason. This is something that I guarantee you, if this was true, that Green Bay wouldn't want this to get out, because look what happened on draft day 2 years ago. It came out 2 days before the day before the draft. They don't want this shit coming out because the combine's coming up. They're going to be questioned about this. They're going to be questioned about, are they moving on from Aaron? They are going to be questioned. They're going to be glued about this. They're going to be grilled. They're not going to want to answer these questions now. They're going to have so much backlash. The shareholders, everybody are going to be up in arms. The fan base, everybody. is going to be up in arms about it. This was a terrible look for Green Bay because now it's going to, if you wanted to trade him, if you wanted to trade Aaron Rodgers, you know the media is going to be pissed, or the fans are going to be pissed. They're going to be asking about what's the status of Aaron Rodgers. We want to keep Aaron Rodgers. What are you doing? There's going to be so much issues, and they're going to have to come out and say it. And $59 million, again, on the bench if you can't trade him. And that's also if Aaron Rodgers doesn't want to be traded. Because if Aaron Rodgers doesn't want to be traded, you know damn well, if Aaron Rodgers doesn't want to be traded, he's not going anywhere because they can't cut him. They can't cut him because they would be in debt. The team would be in debt if they cut him. So, basically, they bankrupt the team if they cut him. So they can't cut him. They'd have to trade him. And Aaron holds all the cards because he could just be like, I can just retire. I couldn't do that. So this is a terrible look. And this Bob McGlennon, fucking terrible reporter. He's a terrible reporter, especially using the words that he used. There is no way I believe the Packers organization said that. And I believe that he is propagandizing this whole thing than what actually the Packers organization feels. So that's my thoughts on this. I don't know if I'll cover any more on this unless there's something more egregious that comes out. But I don't believe it. And I really don't think at this time anyone should believe it. I know all the news sports outlets are covering it now, or starting to cover it, because now it's drama. It's out there. It's drama. Oh, this Packers longtime writer, reporter guy talked about it. It must be quote unquote true. Oh, I can't wait until Aaron Rodgers goes on Pat McAfee's show again and starts. Oh my God, can you imagine? Like they're gonna because Pat McAfee's gonna have to ask him now about it. He's going to have to ask him about it. So, oh, Lord, this is going to be very wild next couple weeks. I do believe Aaron Rodgers is going to be a Green Bay Packers, by the way. Again, unless something really concrete comes out, which it never did 2 years ago and it never did last year, unless something comes out like that, I won't make it probably another video on this issue. I didn't do it 2 years ago. I didn't do it last offseason. So unless something egregious comes out again, this will probably be the last time I talk about it. But nonetheless, let me know what you guys think as Packer fans. Comment, rate, like this video, my videos, please subscribe. Hit that notification bell for all the latest content. And that is about it, guys. Go Pack Go. I'm the SS Ultimate Goku, and I'm out of here. Peace.